Alrighty, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Speed Gaming. Thank you for joining us here on a lovely Saturday evening. My name is Marion Law, and joined with me today is the wonderful Op82. And together, we'll be guiding you through this very quickly starting Echo's odd race. Now, as stated, we are using alternate settings today. So real quick, we're going to run down exactly what alternate settings entail. But first, we're going to find out where we're starting. Oh, we're going with bombs. Well, we could be anywhere. We can start anywhere with bombs. That means, Aegon, that's always a safe bet. Bombs is usually a safe one. All right, real quick, alternate settings. Oh, whoa, we're in Mineshaft. Yeah, we need bombs, and we're going to find Dark Beam immediately here. As we need Dark Beam to leave through the top door, we need Seekers to leave through the bottom door. Seekers is a combination of two items, or... Oh, actually, no. Yeah, we're going to have to find Dark Beam up here in Mineshaft. That would get us out the best way. So today's race is sponsored by, we have Bra Incorporated on the left and Baja Blood on the right, two highly skilled runners. And both are very talented with Out of Bounds and Secret Worlds. So we may be seeing some of those later today. All right, alternate settings. Real quick, we can do a little rundown. 8 beginner tricks set, 17 are disabled. See, I told you Dark Beam was going to be coming. We have a warp to start. So if we need, we can use save stations to warp back here to late Aegon. If we need a quick route to Aegon to the ventilation A area for the elevator. Now on that, final bosses are turned on, a little bit different from other settings you might be used to. So we do have to fight Emperor Ring 1, 2, and 3, and Dark Samus 3 and 4. Furthermore, translator gates are randomized with up to the possibility of unlocked, so we could come across a translator gate with no color, meaning the gate is unlocked, we can scan it down without needing anything. Elevators, two-way between regions. So our Aegon elevator could lead to Great Temple, or it could lead somewhere to Lower Torvus, perhaps. We don't know. But what we do know is that Light Beam is here off of Aegon Energy, meaning the game's trying to push us hard towards Ventilation Area A. Now, with the bombs in hand, that does get Vent Area A immediately. Dark Beam lets us get Dark Samus 1 off a main reactor. And we can safely do Aegon Labs loop, although due to the lack of space jump, we're going to run into some problems trying to get through bioenergy production. Granted, we don't necessarily need a space jump for bioenergy. It's just that the trick needed is a hyper mode level bomb jump, and that's not in logic at all. Now you're going to see two immediate route differences. On your left, we see Bra going towards Vent Area A. He's probably going to check the elevator and do Aegon Labs loop 1. Furthermore, you see Baja working here on Aegon Temple. We're going to fight everybody's favorite and wonderful Bomb Guardian. Now, there is a quick kill method with the Dark Beam. We're going to fire a charged Dark Shot at the head, and that's going to lock him in some Dark Ice. Now, we're going to wait for the head to start flashing. Once it starts flashing, we know we can put another hit out on him, and that'll dwindle the health down without doing damage to us. Pretty much just skip the entire fight. All right, we see our missile launcher courtesy of Vent Area A, which is lovely. Missiles this early is wonderful to have as we need them to get out. Oh, but it looks like Baja's following close behind with a missile expansion. Now, we don't need the missile launcher. We have the mains turned off, so that expansion is treated as if it was an actual launcher. And now Baja did have to take an early reset due to some technical fault on his game side. He had to do a soft reset due to the game crashing. So there was a few seconds of time lost, but don't worry, we have plenty of race left to go. For those of you just joining us, again, welcome. Thank you for joining us here at Speed Gaming. My name is Marion, and we have Op82 tracking as always. And together, we'll be guiding you through this wonderful Saturday nonsense. So sit back, grab a drink, remember to stay hydrated, and we're going to see how bad this gets. Alrighty, so it looks like both players have reversed what was happening. Baja's now over in Vent Area A for main missiles, while Bra grabs a missile expansion courtesy of Bomb Guardian. Now the game's pointing us in one of two directions. We can either A, do Aegon Labs loop backwards, do Dark Samus, but we would need to do a moderate bomb jump to get out. But due to the lack of space jump, that trick is not really viable. So it wouldn't be recommended to go that way, but it's entirely possible. So instead, what we are going to do, it looks like Brett's going straight for the elevator information and grabbing the access item. Access item, another missile expansion, which is really good to have. Now, it's important to note with Echoes, we have what's known as priority drop system. Unlike Prime, where you get whatever the game feels like giving you, Echoes tends to give you what you really need. And real quick, we're going to see what's here in Mining Plaza. Oh, it's very shiny. It looks important, or it might just be a light ammo expansion. Now, as stated, Echoes does have a priority drop system. If you're low on missiles, the game is more likely to give you missiles. If you don't have any power bomb expansions, it's most likely to give you some power bomb drops. Yeah, it wants to give you what you don't have. As compared to Prime, it just gives you whatever the heck it feels like. And no, I will agree. It looks like maybe boost ball, possibly spider ball, or even worse, it could be a cannonball hiding in Mining Plaza. And on your left with Bro, you'll see the instant unlock gate. We see that that meeting ground is unlocked, so we're able to get that down. But we do need boost ball to continue. We would need super, space jump. We need some stuff that we don't necessarily have yet. So we're going to continue on, and we're going to do Aegon. We're going to do Dark World Loop 1. Now, Dark Loop 1 entails Jump Guardian, Trial Tunnel, in Cache 4, the original vanilla loop where you first enter the Dark World. Now, there are a handful of checks that we can get here, but due to the lack of space jump, Bro's going to have to do either some scan dashing or bomb jumps. Looks like he tried to go for the scan dash, but didn't get the height off the bunny hop, so we're going to use the bomb jump of shame. But don't worry, there's no shame in it. On your left, we see Baja making his way through Portal Access A. He picked up a lovely energy tank, courtesy of Portal Terminal Access. And now we're going to go ahead and go through the puzzle to get the Dark World Access. Now, you saw that we killed the Dark Pirate with a Dark Beam. Now, you might be wondering, well, wait a minute, it's a Dark World enemy. What do you mean Dark Beam can kill it? Well, Dark Beam, as we saw with Bomb Guardian, has a tendency to freeze enemies in the dark goop. And because of that, since dark enemies are susceptible to that freeze, just like Ice Beam in Prime 1, we can just freeze them and missile them destroyed. Easy as that. Skips the entire fight. Now you saw Baja pull off a quick trick to get to the last area of that sand block, courtesy of Portal Access. Now, the game only checks if you've destroyed the last block. It doesn't care about the first two, as the game thinks, hey, you did block number 1, you did block number 2, now you're at block 3. Because you're at block 3, you must have done the first 2 sets of the puzzle. Yeah, no, we'll just skip the entire thing. A nice little moonwalk, and we're going to continue on forward. We're going to see what's here on Crossroad, and then we're going to say hello to Trial Tunnel and then the Jump Guardian. But we won't be seeing Jump Guardian how you might picture him. Oh no, my friends. See, we're going to do my favorite trick, is Jump Guardian skip, and it looked like a missile expansion up on Crossroad, but it looks like Baja's intended to go for Incash 4 first. That's a great routing choice. Go for the faraway item first, then come back and do what you can. That way, since you're already back at Portal Access, you can head right out. You don't need to make a detour for Incash 4. It saves you a few seconds on the routing. And you see Bra pulling off the same trick, going through the first set of the puzzle, and then just jumping down to the last set of the puzzle on Portal Access. Just skip the entire second half of it. Now, in Cache 4, the check that's notorious for having something major has an amber translator. Now, Captain MD might always say Underground Tunnel has something progressive. There's always progression in Underground Tunnel. Well, Mr. Marion's going to say there's always something useful in Cache 4. Now, that amber translator is going to get us a lot of information when we do our second loop through the Aegon and our first loop through Labs, trying to get some amber hints. So let's keep on going. We can't get that spider ball check yet, but it looked to be a dark visor. It looked to be an echo visor. It did have that white tinge to it. So we know that a visor is here. Possibly echo, could be dark, but it did look like echo. But we're going to continue along, and we're going to fight Jump Guardian after checking Trial Tunnel. Nope, we're going to do Jump Guardian first, probably. Nope, we're going to skip Jump Guardian for now. We're going to go right to Trial Tunnel. But we see that Bruh's taking a little bit of energy damage. Don't get too low. We don't want to die. This would be a huge time save. All right, so Trial Tunnel. This is that little itty bitty, we call it broom closet because it looks like a broom closet. Well, let's see. Ooh, super missiles. Now those are useful. We're right by Warriors Walk and we have Charge Stream. That is an excellent location for it. That gets us right into Battleground, gets us Double Path, Doomed Entry. And we go through Dark Labs Loop without having to worry about anything. So that's really great and really good to have right now. Unfortunately, Bruh's taking a little bit too much damage. We got to be careful. We do not want to die this early. No, but he's got plenty of health. All right, now on Baja's side, you're going to see my favorite trick of all echoes. We call this Jump Guardian skip. Now, you see Baja making some shots and missiles against this statue of the Chozo Warrior. You may be wondering to yourself, why are we hurting the statue? What did it ever do to us? Well, that statue's got a very dark secret to it. In front of that statue, we have the Jump Guardian hitbox. And because the hitbox is spawned in when we enter the room, we don't have to trigger the fight to damage it. We can just shoot the hitbox and lower its health down to 1 hit point, start the fight, and just throw some pellets and lemons at it, and Jump Guardian dies due to citrus poisoning. Unfortunately, Jump Guardian didn't really have too much useful, and it looks like Baja's choosing to not go for Warriors Walk right now. That's an interesting choice. But no, I understand why he's doing it. We don't have Space Jump yet, so over in Mining Station A, there's a gate that we need to lower in Mining Station A. And if we don't lower it, we need to go through that gate backwards. And unfortunately, we kind of need Space Jump to get through that backwards gate. So even though Warriors Walk is great, we do need Space Jump to get back out, or we need Spider Ball. And Bruh's taking really high risk with his energy count right now, down to 9 at the lowest number. So now Baja's going to go back through Crossroad, in this case Transit Station. We now have access to the item here, courtesy of the bomb slot in the Dark World, and we're finding it to be some light ammo. Now, light ammo is not useful, but it is really good to have. More ammunition is always acceptable. And now we'll see that Bruh on the left side of your screen is doing the same trick, shooting the hitbox for Jump Guardian, lowering it down to 1 health point, and then going to start the fight. Baja, we're using the Amber Translator to get some information, finding that Amorbus has a light ammo expansion. We do not, well, we don't need the item off of Amorbus, but we might need what's in Mining Plaza. Unfortunately, we can't confirm what ball type that is. And yes, Jump Guardian is allergic to lemons, so keep that in mind next time you play Echoes. If you have some spare lemons, just throw them at the boss. And lucky for us, Sandcash's Amber Translator locked, so we can open it right now. And the hint here, Quadraxis hides a missile expansion. All right, we do not need Quadraxis, but we might need Tumos. You never know. All right, so it looks like Ba's going to go ahead and go backwards. We're going to go check the elevator, and we're going to grab the information here. There is a little amber hint sitting here on Mining Plaza. And this hint reads, a major upgrade can be found in Mining Plaza. Wow, game! Congratulations! Where can I find Mining Plaza? Oh, wait a minute! I'm right here! Unfortunately, you don't tell us what the item is! Oh, gotta love the Echoes hint system sometimes. Thanks, Randovania. All right. So, bro's finding the information for Morbus. Now, we know we don't need to fight a Morbus for the item, but we do need it for Mining Plaza. Granted, if that's not considered Cannonball, which, if I'm correct, Cannonball is not considered a major item, technically. So, yeah, we're going to need to fight a Morbus anyway to get the Echolux to spawn. As unfortunately, to get the item in Mining Plaza, we need to defeat a Morbus so that a set of Echolux spawn in Mining Plaza, and in turn use the Echo Visor to open the Mining Plaza gate. Unfortunately, we can't do any of that. But what we can do is, thanks to super missiles, we can go right through this little detour here next to Hall of Honor Dead and continue into landing site. Now, due to the lack of boost ball and seekers, we cannot get Hall of Honor Dead, so we're gonna have to keep on moving. And Bra's gonna continue grabbing some information, finding out Quad, and Baja's finding information that Defiled Shrine has a key. Now, we don't know if that's a Sky Temple key or a red key, but either way, a key is a key. We need them, so we're going to have to come back here later when we have Dark Visor and Seekers. Actually, I don't think we need Seekers for that door. But we will find Hive Chamber A and the Dark Missile Trooper. Yeah, this is a very terrible fight, and never mind, the fight's already over. Alrighty, so Hive Chamber A. There's an optional boss. Yep, this boss does not spawn in under normal circumstances, and he's very easily skipped. The Dark Missile Trooper, an advanced Galactic Federation soldier possessed by the Ing. Now, the way for that trooper to spawn is that we have to defeat Bomb Guardian, which we did at the start of this game. That way, the boss will spawn in, and the item also spawns in following. Now, that item was Dark Aegon key number 1. We need those Dark Aegon keys. So we're going to continue moving forward and hopefully find the other 2. Because if that ball is Spider Ball, then that is going to be really good when we get into Aegon Labs for an access to Vent Area A lot faster compared to save warping. Now, Ba's making the way to Industrial Site. We're going to go in and peek this gate here on the right, the vanilla transport to Aegon. We'll see that it looks to be Cobalt. We don't have Cobalt at the moment, so we're going to have to keep on moving forward. Now, a neat little time save is you can do a slope jump off of a piece of rock geometry and in turn get on top of this little Federation crate. Then you can scan the post to make the crate move, and due to the crate having Samus's hitbox on top of it, Samus will actually ride the crate in the cutscene, getting you to the door without having to go all the way around and lowering the bridge. And very good information for Bra, courtesy of Avok over in Aegon Energy, saying that the Annihilator is an abandoned work site. Now, we can't get that just yet, but it's great information to have, along with the second Dark Aegon key being right next to Temple Assembly site. And Baja pulling off a wonderful bomb jump to skip the entirety of Temple Assembly. Normally, you would need Space Jump to do this. Oh, Grapple Beam. Well, Grapple Beam's going to be good if we come across a grapple point, but we really want Screw Attack. So we're going to hold on to that for later. And it looks like Bra's going towards Venteria A, and we're going to go see our backwards labs play. So we are going to see a Dark Samus fight. All right, so over on Bra's side, you'll see that Dark Samus has a missile expansion. Now, we don't really need that. And since we did not enter the room, we are going to go around, and the boss does not lock us in. So we can just skip the entire fight. Which is great, because we don't have any of the ways to quick kill her. Meanwhile, as Bra continues through Aegon Labs... Oh, that's really good. Bra's going to want that. We just found Space Jump on Command Center, while Baja found Dark Suit on Communications Area. That's going to hurt Baja, as due to the lack of Space Jump that hinders our movement options. But Bra's going to be really happy, because it gets through bioenergy properly. Congratulations. There's your space jump. Oh, we're only 20 minutes in, and this has been one wild ride. All right, so Baja's making the choice to go here to Sky Temple Grounds over in Plane of Dark Worship. Now, thanks to the dark suit, this is the only reason why we're able to do this is because of that dark suit. And that's really good play. As Cobalt is here, that immediately gets us the industrial site elevator. So great find by Baja here. This gets us another elevator. Hopefully, we really want to get into Torvis right now since we don't have any ball upgrades for Sank. If we get to Torvis, there is some stuff we can do, but we really want to get over to, we really want to get into Aegon Labs to get Space Jump. Space Jump is broken as all heck in this game. Temple Transport Violet. Now that's going to take us right to Great Temple. Almost practically a vanilla elevator, just the other side of Great Temple. And I apologize if the audio is a little bit off. We do have some sync problems. But we are going to try to have them looked at. But we do see our first Sky Temple key. Sky Temple key 1 is off of Aegon Labs over in Storage B. I believe that's Storage B. All right, so we still see some routing differences. Baja's choosing to go through Great Temple. Meanwhile, Bruh's continuing through the Aegon Labs. Right now, I would say Bruh might be ahead just courtesy of the space jump. But Baja does have power bombs and the dark suit. Oh, the audio's too quiet. Well, we apologize about that. We'll get some volume raised here. There you go. That should raise the volume a little bit. All right, so Albert the Alpha Splinter, an energy tank. Energy tank's always good to have. And please let me know if the sound is better or worse. If you need it turned up, turned down, please let me know. We want to make your viewing experience here a wonderful time. Alrighty, so Baja, we see the wonderful Umos. Now, Umos, what gift do you bestow upon us today? Light ammo. Well, you could have given us another suit or something. What are we supposed to do with light ammo here in the light world? Oh, that's okay. We won't go off on you. We're trying to help your world anyway. Oh, and Bruh's going for a scan dash. Oh, he almost had it, but he didn't have the height. So close. All right, so real quick, on the left side of your screen, we see Bruh over in bioenergy production. What we're doing is we're trying to get a bunny hop, which we was tapped, but he slid off the collision at the end of the ramp. Oh no! Third time's the charm. We're going to use a scan. We're going to use a point at the bottom of bioenergy to allow us to do a bunny hop or a scan dash to the opposite side of the room. Now, because of the angle and using space jump, we're able to gain just enough height and distance to make a storage C without needing spider and boost ball or screw attack. All right, Aegon portal access. Ooh, that's going to be back near portal access A, which is the vanilla Torvis Temple elevator. So that elevator is going to be great for when we need to go back to Aegon, which would be right now. But Baja's going to check all his elevators first just to be safe. All right, so it looks like we're going back through Temple Grounds. And just for those of you who missed it, we did find power bombs. Power bombs are courtesy of Transport B access. Yeah, Transport B access and Great Temple had power bombs, which are good because we can use them immediately here at Dynamo Chamber to get the power bomb item. Ooh, we see a ball upgrade here on Doomed Entry. Now, this is going to help tell us what's in the... Okay, so Spider Ball on Doomed Entry. All right, now that tells us that Boost Ball is most likely in Mining Plaza then. Boost Ball and Mining Plaza. That's going to make some interesting route choices. Now, Spider Ball's great. That gets us practically everything we need in Aegon. And we're finding some... Ooh, double damage. Double damage on Vanilla Light Beam. Look at that. I forgot to mention earlier, and I apologize for this, but multiplayer items are shuffled, which include, but are not limited to, double damage, unlimited beam ammo, unlimited missiles, and so forth. And we just found one of those with double damage, which does exactly what it says. It doubles the entire damage output of every weapon. So right now, we're looking at Baja. We're going through Temple Grounds, courtesy of that power bomb. Working out great. We're finding the Seeker launcher on Compound. Now we could dupe that and gain an extra missile expansion. And it looks like Bruz going to skip Battleground. We're going to go right for Warrior's Walk. And we see Torvis entrance. All right, so we have a Torvis entrance elevator. Really good. Sank Spider Side. We don't want that just yet. Aegon Temple access. That'll lead over toward Vent Area A. That's a good location. And Lower Torvis. Oh, we don't want Lower Torvis just yet. We don't really have that much equipment for Lower Torvis. But if you missed it, you saw on Bruz's side, Warrior's Walk has the third Dark Aegon key. So we know where all three of them are. But thanks to that Spider Ball, we're able to come back and grab our Echo Visor on Junction Site. Oh, Dark Visor. Nah, I was close. I knew it was one of the two. All right, so Dark Visor. Well, I'd say Bruz should go right back to Battleground and get that Dark Ink cache. All right, so we're coming up on the 30-minute mark, and both runners are making excellent progress. Bruz is almost fully cleared in Sank, while Bruz is almost fully cleared in Temple Grounds. If we had to make predictions, I'd say Bruz needs to go back through Aegon Labs, get Battleground Ink cache, then make a way to Temple Grounds, as you know where your elevator is for it. In the flip side, Baja, I would say either go straight for Torvis, since you know where it is, but preferably you should go back to Aegon Labs, get your space jump, and then continue through Aegon courtesy of the Seeker launcher that you picked up. So those are my current predictions. Right now, I would say that it's hard to tell. I would personally say Bruz might have a good 5-minute lead compared to Baja. Yes, finding the other two Dark Aegon keys is going to do great when he makes a second loop. But right now, that Seeker launcher does not help him over in Temple Grounds. The only thing it really does, we could get a Cursed Lake, but then we can't because we still need Dark Visor for a Cursed Lake. So it looks like Baja decided to take the smart path, did a save warp to Aegon. Knowing that we're in Mine Shaft, we spawn right at the bottom of it next to Mining Station B, which is locked by Seekers. Now, we have Seekers, so we can go right through the door. Now, what's on Mining Station B? Well, I'll tell ya. It's a wonderful energy tank. Congratulations, you found more energy. But what's on Mining Station B itself? It looks to be a power bomb expansion, so nothing useful. But we do have an amber hint here, so let's see what this knowledge tells us. Umos is guarding an energy tank. All right, so that's Tumos, meaning it is confirmed we are not going to see a Quadraxis or a Tumos battle. Quadraxis is completely dead. We do not need to make a second visit to Umos to grab the light suit item. Yeah, I know it's not what you like hearing, but hey, it's welcome to Echoes. All right, so now we are 29 minutes in. Both runners are doing wonderfully, wonderful. I gotta find more adjectives aside from wonderful. They're doing nice. They're doing great. All right, that's an adjective. Let's keep on moving. They're doing stellar. I love it. I love the positivity here today. All right, so it looks like both runners are taking my initial prediction. Bro's done with Aegon. He's going straight for the Temple Grounds loop. He'll eventually come across that Seeker launcher. In turn, Baja now is done with Temple Grounds. We're going to continue through the through Aegon Labs loop. This will eventually get Baja a space jump, and in turn break open the entirety of his game. All right, so Dark Samus 1. Yeah, it's supposed to be a terrible fight, but during QA testing, they never removed the damage hitbox for Dark Samus and Power Bombs. Power Bombs is a very broken item. It's used on a lot of bosses you're not supposed to have it on. So because of that, we could just lay a Power Bomb at Dark Samus's foot, have her look at the bomb will explode, and in turn it will end the fight. It just wipes her entire health bar down to 0. Like I said, in vanilla Echoes, you're not supposed to have power bombs at this point. It's a late game item, but there is an out of bounds movement. There is an out of bounds done in Temple Grounds to grab the expansion behind Dynamo Chamber early, and in turn getting us a lot of items beforehand. So with that, looks like Baja. Oh no, Baja did not check Command Center. He didn't check Command Center yet. Well, he'll do it eventually. Okay, now he's going to check it. Took a small detour to get to Central Mining Station, took a peek at it, realized it's not a major, and now we're turning away as we don't want it. Now we're going to peek Command Center, look at the item down here. Oh, look, there's your space jump. You might want to get that. So instead of doing the fight, we're just going to go back one room to the transport, and we're going to go underneath. Are we? I'm curious as to his plan here. I see. We're going backwards. We're going to skip triggering lockdown by forcing the pirate spawn, and then we'll get the item. Alrighty. Because if we were to trigger the pirates going into the portal through the access tunnel, that would force lockdown as soon as we exit. But since we didn't trigger those pirates, lockdown does not affect us. And real quick, lockdown is this door that we just shot and entered would be locked by a wall, and we'd have to cross the entire room, go back one room, and lower a gate. And scan a command module. We can just skip all that. It saves about 2 minutes. And meanwhile, Bruh's taking the transport B access elevator that Bruh once did. And we're going to get our power bombs. Yay, look at that. Main power bombs. We have Amber Translator. We can continue forward. We're going to say hello to Albert the Alpha Splinter. And then immediately destroy him with power bombs as well, because power bombs are a broken item. All right, so Baja's continuing into bioenergy production. We're going to grab the item here, take a peek at storage C, and then continue along. Might do the skip and sand processing. I've seen Baja do it before, but I'm not sure if he's going to do it today. Alrighty, so now we're going to raise the platform since we don't have screw attack to skip them. And we're going to set ourselves up to get this room out of the way. And now that we've reached the half-hour mark, this is Marion's friendly reminder to let everyone know to stay hydrated. Take a drink of water every now and then. Alright, so Bruh's done here in Temple Grounds. We've seen all that we... Temple Grounds. We're in Great Temple. What am I talking about? Bruh's done here at Umos. We're going to continue forward. We're going to check the elevators and pick the one that works best for us. If I had to pick one, I would say go back to the one that you came in and continue through continue through the original loop of Temple Grounds, get to Compound, get your Seekers, then most likely head for Torvus Entrance. That's where I would put Bra at right now. Go for Torvus Entrance and do some Torvus work. Or there is a second option to that. We could find that last Aegon key and then go fight a Morbus and get our boost ball. Now, once we have boost ball in hand, that would get us Sank access. So it's a matter of what does the runner want to do right now. We need boost ball for Sank, depending on which elevator we get into. We definitely need it for Sank entrance, but we could go for Spider side. Now, it looks like Bruh's trying to peek that translator. He wants to see if it's an important one. Unfortunately, it is one that we need, and Bruh's realizing he does not have Seekers. So we're going to leave this area and come back. Meanwhile, Baja's made his first steps into Dark Labs, saw the Spider Ball, and we're going to continue along to get Vanilla Light Beam, which had double damage. See, everyone talks bad about Echoes for it not being as popular as Prime, but this does have its moments. You know, I think it's a nice game. It's a nice change of pace. And you see Baja trying to skateboard up that rock, per se. What we're doing again is called a slope jump. By forcing Samus against a piece of collision and then jumping on it, if the collision is angled, that collision will give us a boost in speed and height, in turn allowing us to gain extra distance, which we use the extra height to get on top of the dark platform without having to go all the way around. In turn, Bruh's found the dark suit courtesy of Calm Area. And we're going to peek that Ing Reliquary has a missile-related upgrade. We don't need that. We already have supers and seekers and main missiles. We don't need Ing Cache 4 today. I'm sorry, Ing Reliquary, different room. And Baja's made excellent routing, finding the third Dark Aegon key here in Warrior's Walk. And in turn, this will let Baja get a Morbus spot and grab the boost ball without having to do any backtracking. So it looks like Baja's choice of going to Temple Grounds early has in turn worked out for him tremendously. But first, we're going to make a pit stop and grab that Dark Visor. Alrighty, folks, it's that time again. We're going to say hello to a Morbus. Or not. We're going to put that fight off for just a little bit longer. Looks like Baja's not considering the fact that boost... Well, you know what? Yeah, that's fair. Come back and grab the Ink Cache, then possibly do it. But boost ball? Is it hard required? Currently, we don't know. Right now, boost ball doesn't really help us outside of Hall of Honor Dead, which it's required for. Sank Entrance Elevator, if we ever want to go through Sank Entrance, which we can completely skip, by the way, by going... If Sank Entrance doesn't have a useful item. As we can't actually get to the entrance room with backwards, it's locked. And a handful of miscellaneous puzzles. Other than that, boost ball isn't terribly required. Now that I think about it. And on your left, we'll see that Bruz downloaded the map for Torvus. So now he's going to get all that juicy information about Torvus entrance. We're going to find Sank Spider Side, which now that we have Spider Balls, really good to have. Aegon Temple, and Lower Torvus. So it's honestly, I could go any which way. If I had to make a recommendation for both runners, I would say based on their current equipment, I would probably go for Sky Temple Key Hints. Yeah. I'll try to get key hints and then do a final search for a suit, for your light suit along the way. We need screw attack, which we don't have. And Brad's going to show us why in a minute. Right now, over on your left, you see him crossing Grand Wind Chamber using a bunny hop. Now, I've said bunny hop before, but I haven't described what that really means. Bunny hop, since we don't have screw attack. Well, we do have Emerald Translator. Look at that. That's going to be great when we get to Torvus. So, bunny hopping. What's a good way to describe it? We're going to attach Samus to a fixed scan point and then dash into the ground. Now, just as we're about to leave the dash and start the second one, we're going to force Samus into the floor and then use that as like a trampoline to bounce ourselves up and over. I know my description makes absolutely no sense, but unfortunately I don't use bunny hopping, so I can't say how it's done. But essentially, you need space jump for it. You're trying to squeeze Samus between the first and the second jumps into the floor. Now, the second we hit that floor, we can use the momentum boost to get across large gaps, as you saw in Bioenergy Production and Grand Wind Chamber. But in turn, it looks like I was correct going for key hints, since Baja's right there, and we remember earlier that Defiled Shrine had a key on it. Well, we're about to find out what key that actually is. Personally, I hope it's a Quadraxis key, because it'd be absolutely useless. Oh, no, it's a Sky Temple key. All right, that's a vanilla STK location. All right, so now Baja's going to grab the information for his STKs, but that's going to show us where they are. Unfortunately, we still need to find a hunt for screw attack. And if at all possible, we kind of want light suit or just a ton more energy. Because we do have final bosses turned on, so we do want that energy. And we see a life support system over in a cursed lake. That could be useful. Now, we had the two keys. Remember earlier, we had Storage B and Defiled Shrine. Now, your SDKs for today include Incash 3, Training Chamber, Hall of Combat, Forgotten Bridge, ATS, Med Vista, Sentinel's Path. Okay, so none of them are really terrible. There's none in Aegon except, well, no, I think Incash 3 is the outlier. As if I'm correct, that is where Sonic Boom usually is, over in Far Labs. So if I had to route this based on Baja's current equipment and knowledge, even though we're gonna focus on that for a minute, we know that Annihilator Beam is somewhere. We got the information for Annihilator. I don't remember where that information came from. That stinks. All right, Training Chamber, Hall of Combat, Mastery, Forgotten Bridge, Aerial Training, Med Vista, Sentinel's Path. Can't do Med Vista, we need Screw Attack. Can't do Sentinel's Path, we need Annihilator Echo. Let's see. Defiled Shrine, which we got. The routing's not looking good. We need Annihilator and Echo. Annihilator beam and Echo visor. Yes, because an Echo is now a beam. Since Marion doesn't know how to articulate his words. Let's try this again. While Brett continues through to get his key hints, let's see if we can figure out a route for this. Now, the big thing I'd say right now is trying to get Echo and Annihilator. Now, we know where Annihilator Beam is. It is somewhere that I did not write down. If anyone could remind me, that'd be great. But I'm sure we'll find out when the time comes. So I would say probably go get Annihilator as soon as possible. And then full clear that area. Searching for Screw Attack, as we do need it for Med Vista. And for final bosses. We can probably skip the light suit hunt as well. We'll probably find enough energy before then. But I would put Aegon for... I would probably put Aegon for last, since we can use a save warp to it. So we're gonna forget. We'll forget that Sonic Boom Room is here. We can skip that. And it looks like Baha's going straight for Torvis entrance. So yeah, that makes sense. Go for Torvis, full clear it. Hope that you come across Annihilator in the path, because I believe it was Torvis that had it. Oh, but until then, yeah, Torvis is pretty well contained. There's one in Lower Torvis, and there's an elevator in Lower Torvis that gets us to Temple Grounds. So yeah, that'd probably make the most sense. Then use that to beeline for Sank. Oh, well, we have a movement system in Poison Bog. That's probably our gravity suit. Or Screw Attack. It could be either one. So that means we need Light Suit to either get A, gravity boost, or B, Screw Attack. And that is absolutely terrible. But what's not terrible is that we have Emerald to get these hints. The Dark Visor can be found in a room that we already went to. Well, golly gee, game, I'm very thankful that you gave us that useful information, but unfortunately, it appears you gave it to us at a later time. Games, can you move through dark water without gravity? You can, yes, but you need Light Suit for it. Light Suit is the defining factor for dark water. A gravity boost is for regular water, and Light Suit is for poison water. And so we really need that Light Suit first. Oh, this is gonna be terrible to try to figure out. And it looks like on your right, so you see Baha going for an instant unmorphs, but he's low on energy. We do not want to die here, as we did not save in a while. So Baha's attempting to do an instant unmorph. We're going to bomb against this wall to get us some height. Then we'll instant unmorph and use a space jump to get on top of the platform. This saves us from taking the entire loop around Great Bridge. And he got it. So here's the SDK off of Forgotten Bridge. Oh, my bad. I've got the rooms backwards. This is Great Bridge. Forgotten Bridge is the other side. Sorry. We still did this to prevent going around the long way. So what just happened? Well, I can explain it. What happened was what we call the instant unmorph. By forcing Samus against a piece of collision and attempting to unmorph, the game tries to initiate the unmorph cutscene. But because you're against a piece of collision, that cutscene can't trigger properly. So the game has a backup security feature where it'll just instantly pop you back out of the morph ball. It's just boom, an instant. So that's why if you're against a piece of collision and try to unmorph, it'll do it instantly due to the cutscene not being able to properly render. That might not be the technical reason, but that is how it happens. So don't quote me on that. Oh, and we found screw attack somewhere along the line. Where was screw attack? Because obviously I missed it. It was somewhere here in Temple Grounds, I'll say that. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Oh, that sucks. All right, so about us continuing through Torvus Bog. We're looking for more items. We really want the light suit right now. We do not want Dark Torvus keys. Chica is a dead fight. Chica only has one item. There is nothing special locking Chica into Torvus, so we can skip the fight. As Chica only has a missile. And I'm sorry, Captain MD. Unfortunately, Underground Tunnel only had some ammo. Oh, but we have a visor over an Inghive. That could be our Echo visor. If that's the case, it's going to be very terrible routing, so we'd have to go to Inghive to get the Echo, and then come back to figure out where the heck the Annihilator beam is. But it depends on where that is. Is it on ATS, which is a screw attack ball? Is it on Hive Gyro Chamber, which is spider locked? Is it Hive Dynamo Works, locked behind Spider Guardian? There's a lot of possibilities. Oh, that's right. Annihilator Beam was abandoned work site. Duh. I completely forgot about that. Okay, now knowing where Annihilator Beam is, this route makes a lot more sense. Alright, so Annihilator, we're really missing that Echo Visor, but thanks to Annihilator, it's not a terrible problem. Baja finding the Sank entrance elevator courtesy of Torvus Temple. Unfortunately, due to the lack of boost ball, we cannot get that. We need boost ball for Sank entrance gate. So it looks like Baja's gonna go for lower Torvus. And thanks to unlimited beam ammo, Annihilator's like the only thing we're going to be seeing for a while from Bruh. It would just be so good combination. I do want to take this time to have people enjoy the ambience of Lower Torvus. Lower Torvus is such a peaceful, calming music. And it's a very dull but powerful soundtrack. So if you're ever feeling stressed or unsure of what to do, go down to Lower Torvus, take a deep breath, relax, take a swim, and remember that you're stuck in this game whether you like it or not. Alright, continuing on. Dungeon. Dungeon hides a key. We know it is not a Sky Temple key. So we do not need it at all. Period. Nothing. We do not need dungeon. And It looks like Baja's going for a trick here. Oh, he almost had it, but he fell a little short. Now we gotta go all the way around and come up. So close. And great work by making use of screw attack to completely bypass the little pedestal in Med Vista. Went right for the item. Meanwhile, Baja made great use of water physics. We were able to input a space jump as we left the body of water and used the distance to get all the way across. Now, bro's thinking, well, I don't have boost ball quite yet, so we're not going to go to Sank Entrance. But we do know that Emerald is on Windchamber Gateway, thanks to the Emerald hint. I swear, these hint systems are something else sometimes. Hey, do you know where you find a translator? In the room you already went to. Because you used that translator to get this hint. Thanks, game. Alright, so bro's going for the same trick he just pulled off. We're going to try to find the right angle. We're going to jump out of the body of water and then go through it. Oh, no, wait, we're going for a different trick. That was Baja. Sorry. This trick is called Air Underwater. Another one of my favorite tricks. And there we go. That's Air Underwater. All right. No, I'm not going to leave it like that. All right, Air Underwater. It's a simple trick to explain sometimes. But first, we're going to see if Baja gets this jump. Oh, and he almost did, but he was too far to the right. He didn't have he had the distance, but not the angle. All right, so real quick, there's two tricks going on at the same time. I will explain them as we go. First was Air Underwater, as Bra performed. Now, what is Air Underwater? Well, when Samus is in a body of water, she has set physics, limited movement. When you leave the body of water, you're able to move freely. You screw attack, space jumps, the whole 9 yards. Air Underwater combines both of them. By morphing the frame that Samus enters the body of water from land, so we're going from land to water, if we morph the exact frame that we touch water, we get a bit of a weird state. You saw Bra had a bit of a clear screen underwater compared to that hazy, transparent fog. Now that lets you know you have the trick successful. Now what that does is the game is tricked into thinking we're still standing on land. So because the game thinks we're in a different state, we're able to perform a space jump and, in turn, a screw attack. In turn, gaining large distances compared to regular underwater movement. So the TLDR morph the same frame we enter water, and it allows us to perform advanced movement options in water due to the game being tricked. Now before that, after that you saw Baja pull off a scan dash. That was another case of bunny hopping. We're forcing Samus into the floor and then rocketing her up like a trampoline to cover a large distance. And normally we'd need boost ball or we would need screw attack, neither of which Baja has. But it looks like Bra's continuing along. Baja's finding the information for the Annihilator Beam and Torvus. That's going to do him great, knowing that he also needs Echo Visor. But now he's got all the information that he needs for cleanup. I would say at this moment, Bruh's probably going to go straight for Torvis. Most likely, he's going to follow the path of that Annihilator. In turn, I would say Bruh's probably going to Sank. Even though we don't have Boost Ball, we can get a majority of the items here. And since we already have Annihilator, we can get the Echo Visor courtesy of the hint. Although I don't think Bruh has that hint. But he'll eventually find it during cleanup. Now, Boost Ball for Sank. Again, it's very minimally used. Only a handful of puzzles require it. Sank entrance being the main culprit. So for now, we can skip it. But here's the Hall of Combat Mastery key, which we just skipped the entire puzzle for. That's a time save of about 3 minutes. So what happened was, real quick, we stood on a piece of geometry, and then space jumped up to the spider ball track. Now, because that spider ball track is treated as active collision, it forces Samus into an instant morph. And we talked about instant unmorph. This is the same thing. When you try to morph, it does a little cutscene. And if it can't execute that cutscene, it does it instantly. So we try to morph the same frame we're against a piece of collision. It does the instant morph. And then we can immediately activate Spider Ball and grab the spider track. In turn, skipping the entire puzzle. And if you ever decide to play Echoes in the future, I'd highly recommend learning it, as that puzzle is a doozy. Alright, so now we're going to continue through. Looks like Cooling Chamber doesn't have anything useful, just a handy-dandy missile expansion. Which we're good. We have 50 missiles, we'll be okay. And with unlimited ammo, we'll be perfect for the boss fights. Yeah, final boss is going to be a cakewalk. Alright, so right now you see Bruh trying to grab this secret lock backwards. Now this lock, usually we would need to... This lock is used to lower the portal gate on the opposite side of the room. So we're going to fire the missiles, and the missiles are going to make a U-turn. And that'll lower the red gate for the portal, and spawn us right in front of the portal, actually. And as both runners are in loading screens, I'd like to take this time once again to say thank you for joining us. Everyone's support over the constant years have made all of this possible, and we're very appreciative of it. All right, let's get back to the fun stuff. All right, so Bro's making his way downtown. Well, can't copyright that. We're going to make our way through downtown Sanctuary, and we're going to hopefully find our light suit along the way. We could really use that, as we only have 4 E-tanks. It's going to make the final boss a little bit trickier. Bruh, meanwhile, is going through Temple Grounds, possibly heading for... If I had to take a guess, I'd say he's also trying to get to a Sank Spider Vault side. Granted, lack of Boost Ball, but at this point, it's not really needed. We're really just trying to get Sky Temple keys. We're just trying to get those SDKs. We're trying to get some cleanup done. In reference to that, Baja's running 2 keys, while Bruh is at, I believe that is 8. Or possibly 6. That is 6. We still need Sentinel's Path and ATS. Oh, correction, there's 9, so we do need in cache 3 still. Oh, he almost destroyed both Resbits. Resbits are a very annoying enemy. Alright, so Baja looks a little confused on where to go right now, so he's doing some final cleanup. So we're over here in a cursed lake. Remember earlier it had a definition of a life support, did it? No. Yeah, it did. The Cursed Lake had a life support system, and in turn is that light suit that we've been looking for. So both suits are accessed through temple grounds. So now, thanks to the light suit, we take no Dark World damage. Well, that's great for Baja, but we still don't have Screw Attack, which hopefully he'll find during Temple Grounds cleanup. All right, so Brad's moving straight for Sentinel. Looks like we're gonna go for main gyro chamber. We're gonna check gyro access or watch station access. I apologize. Coming up to the backside of main gyro chamber, this will get us to the second floor, and in turn allow us to get into Sank Temple. So we know where all our majors are, except for Echo, which we are still hunting. But we know it is somewhere in the Ying Hive. And Baja's going to come up here really quick over an Ing Reliquary. We're going to take a peek at that hint, and it's going to tell us if we need to come up here. That tells Baja it is a missile related, which we don't need to. And unfortunately, Bra fell to the bottom of Sank Temple, and that spawns in the Dark Quads, which are not a challenge, as we can just walk right past them. But it looks like Bra's going straight for Spider Guardian, so he's thinking Spider Guardian's got something useful. Oh, or no, we're going to see a cannonball. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. We're trying to get cannonball state. All right, so let's watch and see if he gets it. Although I don't think he spawned the mini quads in the bottom of Dynamo Works to really get Spider Guardian. No, he did not. The quads were not spawned, so we can't fight Spider Guardian even if we wanted to, as Spider's not even spawned. But there's the information for Seeker Launcher. Yeah, thanks, game. We already found it. But no, we are going for Cannonball State. Now, what you saw Brad do here is we went to Olier, the Sank Energy controller, and then we screw attacked at a very, very specific piece of wall. Now, in Echoes, if you can hit it, if it looks like you can go through it, you can go through it. There is very limited collision when it comes to screw attacking. So by screw attacking at that wall and unmorphing, it forces Samus out of bounds, as the game thinks we're in a smaller hitbox than what we actually are, as screw attack has a morph ball hitbox. And since normally you're not supposed to be in that corner, by us unmorphing to a full hitbox, it just clips us right out of the room. So now we're going to go out of bounds. We're going to walk along the Aether box. We're going to continue around Sank Temple. And in turn, this gets us one of two things. Number one, it allows us to use the cannon over in Watch Station. Not Watch Station, Workers Path. But for this particular one, this gets us into Sentinel's Path without Echo. Now, remember earlier when we got our STK hints, it said Sentinel's Path had something useful? Well, now we're getting the key for it. Normally, we would need Echo Visor and Annihilator. And with Echo being unknown to Bra, he does not have the hint that Baja does. We are going out of bounds to get the key in Sentinel's Path, and then we are going to go out of bounds again to leave Sentinel's Path. Right now, we're just inching our way forward into the room to get the key hitbox. We don't want to leave out of bounds. Oh, and it turns out gravity boost was courtesy of Poison Bog. So that gravity boost was under the dark water, which we needed light suit for. Oh, wait. So now we have the key. Here's the hard part. We need to leave this itty bitty locked chamber. And we get a second try. That's a lot harder than what it's made out to be. We did a roll jump, so we rolled an instant on morph into a jump. We jumped at a piece of collision with a screw attack, and then we used that screw attack to bonk us up to a second floor of the room and go out through a piece of broken collision. As if the game doesn't suspect us to be able to do that. So we just completely skipped what we need Echo Visor for. At least for Bruh's side. Baja, on the other hand, we still need to come to Sentinel's Path. I would assume right now Baja's scrambling, trying to find that screw attack. While also grabbing Forgotten Bridge. And unfortunately, we can't really do Meditation Vista. There's not a good way to get it without screw attack. So right now, Baja's just scrambling, trying to tell him, where is screw attack? Unfortunately, screw attack is somewhere back in Temple Grounds. And unfortunately, Marion did not see the exact room where Bruh picked it up at. So I can't tell you lovely folks watching at home where exactly it is or what route Baja's trying to go for here. At this point, I think Baja's just trying to full clear every area, find screw attack, and then grab the rest of the keys as we go along. And by the way, there's that cannonball state that we were talking about earlier on Bruh's side. We went out of bounds and we're still going out of bounds due to that Sentinel's Path nonsense earlier. We had Sank Temple loaded as we went into Worker's Path. And because the game thinks we are in a different room that we're not actually in, we can use that turret to just completely go out of bounds. We use the cannon, it fires us out of bounds as it doesn't, as the game thinks we're not in that room. And because we never hit the cannonball portal at the end, we just keep the cannonball state. And Cannonball, we just broke that glass, as you saw, off on top of main gyro chamber. Cannonball does a handful of things. Number one, you are invincible to damage while in morph ball state. You will not take any damage, period, while in a morph ball. And number two, it gives us a boost ball. Cannonball gives us a fake boost ball item. As you'll see here, we're using a boost ball. We don't actually have the boost ball. We have a fake one thanks to Cannonball here. And I do want to point out, I am obliged to mention this. If anyone here is interested more in Metroid Prime, currently we have the grand finale of our Metroid Prime Randomizer Mentor Tournament happening right now on SpeedGaming 1. So once again, if you're more akin to Metroid Prime, head over to SpeedGaming 1 with the grand finale of Metroid Prime Rando Mentor Tournament happening. But until then, we are going to continue with the daily Echo shenanigans. But it looks like Bruh's going to go on and fight Dark Samus 1, and Dark Samus 1 is gone. And it's gone. Oh, there's the hint for the screw attack. Looks like Baja finally found the information for it. It's over in Temple Grounds, Hall of Combat Mastery. Correction, Hall of Honor dead. Combat Mastery's the room we were just in. So that means bruh got that out of bounds, possibly, or I read that room name incorrect. But regardless, Baja is not happy with the location. Right now, like I said, vanilla Sonic Boom Room in Catch 3, that's got a key, and it is the most out of the way item I've ever seen outside of in Catch 4. You go all the way through Dark Labs, go all the way to the very back of it, just to get this one storage closet check. Then you gotta come all the way back. And we did need an annihilator due to the door, so we did have to wait until we went to abandoned work site. With that being said, courtesy of Incash 3, that final key being grabbed, Rise and Go mode. We don't have light suit, but we have 5 energy, which is a good amount to have for final bosses. We should be okay with that, as long as we don't take too many hits. Baja, on the other hand, we've only got 4 STKs. We've got a very bad route going on. We're doing that hunt for screw attack earlier. That ate up a lot of time. And due to bruh fighting screw attack early in Temple Grounds, that sort of set him up for the rest of this game. So we should be seeing final bosses relatively soon. No, I would say bro's probably gonna just make a beeline for any Temple Grounds elevator, and then get straight to Gateway. Baja, on the other hand, we're still trying. Looks like Baja's attempted to go for a trick called air underwater. Why are we going for air underwater here? Well, because we don't. That's actually a good idea. Why are we going for air underwater? Oh, that's why we never lowered training chamber. We went through training chamber backwards. Okay, yeah. No, this makes perfect sense. And what we see here, Baja's attempting to use a slope jump to jump backwards onto the training chamber platform. And he's almost got it. There he goes, and he gets it. And a nice high five on the morph. All right, that gets an SDK. And right now, bruh is attempting to go out of bounds, which he did eventually get. And we're using this to skip the translator gate. We're using this to skip the gate, skip the puzzle, go right to Sky Temple Gateway. Or not Gateway, but to a Sky Temple Grounds. So you gotta be really careful with out of bounds movement. And there's the screw attack. Transport to Aegon Waste. I was completely wrong on the room name. We never went to that elevator. Baja never went to Transport to Aegon, which had the screw attack. That explains why Bra had it. But no, right now, Bra's just trying to go out of bounds. We're trying to stay out of bounds. And we're using this to get all the way to Sky Temple grounds. We're going right for the final bosses. Meanwhile, now that Baja finally has screw attack, I'm sure he's ecstatic about it. We're just going to go for key cleanup. We got Meditation Vista, which we still have to do. We still got to do in Cache 3, so we got to go back to Aegon. We can do that last, thanks to the save warp. And we still got to do Aerial Training Site over in Sank, which is required screw attack. So at the moment, Baja's still got a good 10 minutes of cleanup left ahead of him. We got keys in all 3 major areas. And right now, Bro's just trying to clip back inbounds. We went underneath the puzzle. There is a small little movement puzzle here in Path of Eyes to get from the elevator to the portal. We've decided to go out of bounds, skip the entire thing, and now we are trying to clip back inbounds at the proper door. As far as out of bounds movement goes, what Brad did, we did an extended dash to go all the way out with Cannonball. Remember, we still have Cannonball State. We did an extended dash across the entirety of the room, and that sent us to the far side, where we managed to just clip out of bounds through bypassing the Aether box. Yep, that's the explanation I'm going with, and we're sticking to it. As in this game, if you can do it, go for it. This game is broken, has very wonky collision. The biggest thing for out of bounds movement in Echoes and Prime as well. Every room is inside a box. And because every room's inside a box, we're able to stay confined within that collision space. Now, if you somehow glitch out of that box, we call that outside area the Aether. Now, inside the Aether, you slowly climb up the top of the box, but you're not able to really input any movement. You can't jump, and if you morph while in the Aether, you fall straight to the bottom of the box. So you don't really ever want to morph, and you rarely want to screw attack. A screw attack does the same thing, it makes you fall. Or screw attack will get you just stuck. It'll get you stuck inside a piece of a movable wall, and you got to reset. But what we can do, we can go from outside to inside of the box, and we have a 3-frame window. We have a few frames to input a jump. So every time we go out and in, we can do some jumps. Outside the box, keep our height, go inside, jump a little bit more, then go outside. We use that to climb the room, go through loading doors, go to rooms where the game thinks we're not, and all the fun out of bounds movement that you've always seen. But with that being said, say hello to the final boss. The final boss is first up, the Emperor Ring. Stage 1, destroy the tentacles, and then shoot the big glowing eye. Thanks to double damage, that makes this completely tireless. And furthermore, thanks to Cannonball, remember, we're invincible in Cannonball State. So we are taking no damage from the enemy, and we're taking no damage from the Poison Bog. Stage 2, blow up every single little crack on this outer shell. The mini tentacle arms will fly out. You need to destroy them with a bomb or a power bomb. Once all the little tentacles have been destroyed, the shell will break, and that will reveal the Emperor Ring. Now, what's the best way to defeat the Emperor Ring? Well, you just saw half of it. Screw attack on the underside. There is a small hitbox just below the kneecap on the underbelly of the Emperor Ring. Now that takes massive damage from screw attack for some unknown reason. I'm sure it's known, but it's a technical trick which I'm not going to explain as I don't have the knowledge of it. But by screw attacking into that hitbox, massive damage can be done, and we can just wipe the floor with Emperor Ring 3. There we go, destroy the kneecap, and we are good to go. Planetary condition critical escape. We have 8 minutes for a final escape. Now, all the final bosses are done. All we have to do is get back to the sky, get back to Temple Grounds, and we're good, right? Well, sort of. Remember how you fought Dark Samus earlier and you thought she was gone for good? Well, I got bad news for you folks. Dark Samus returns. She is the true final boss of this game. So as we attempt to make our escape, we try to leave, we try to end the game. Nope, sorry, have a Dark Samus fight. Now what we're trying to do here is we want to do a very specific amount of damage to Dark Samus 3. We want to do enough damage where she transitions into this little floaty stage, but not enough where she goes into full fourth final stage. Now, because we have this set amount of damage, what we're going to do is, we're going for a screw attack strategy, which we got. Great. Absolutely fantastic hit. But unfortunately, we did transition into the second phase. Now, what we attempted to do is get Dark Samus into a stun lock. Oh, that's terrible. Echo Visor on Hive entrance. I just want to point that out. Oh, that's terrible. So, Dark Samus 3 and 4, there's 2 phases to it. The first phase where she just flies around and shoots at you, and the second phase where you need to fire her own projectiles back at you. Now, during the first phase, we want to do a set amount of damage, which isn't enough to trigger the final phase, but then it does force her to almost go into the phase. Yeah, we're right on the cusp of it. That way she does a different animation. Then we use Dark Beam and missiles, which is a great combination. That's where she takes the most damage from. And time, by the way, 1:27:13. Good game. And we want to do a set amount of damage, force her into a new animation, then stun lock her with missiles and Dark Beam to finish the entire fight without triggering the last phase of it. Now, screw attack also works. It does a lot more damage, but it's also risky as you don't know where Dark Samus will eventually end up, and the time spent searching for her is enough time to force her into that last phase. So either way, great game by Bruh. Fantastic routing, fantastic work. Baja had wonderful routing. He did his best, but unfortunately, due to the early stay in Temple Grounds, it cost him a lot. So unfortunately, Baja has decided to forfeit this race. It is over. We are done. So we're going to send both runners an invite, and we're going to get them in here for some post-game commentary. Again, to describe how they feel. So with that, while we attempt to have our server bots send out the invites, for the few of you still with us, if you have any questions or concerns you'd like to bring to either of our runners or to us here at the booth with Op82 as well, we'll take them. So with that being said, welcome, Baja.
Hello.
How are you today?
Slightly worse than I was an hour and a half ago.
I don't blame you. I can imagine. I think the biggest thing is, how'd you feel about fighting screw attack?
Yeah, that was really bad. I was so close to that in so many ways. Like
you were right on top of it, but you never went to check. You never checked the
elevator. Yeah, I
elevator.
scanned the gate and I was like, whatever. I'll go back and do this when I get Violet. and then also similarly, if I had succeeded
Oh, that
in
was a
that
violent.
E-Dash and trading chamber the first time, I was gonna check the elevator
Oh,
afterwards. So
oh,
like
that.
that would have been another way if I had just either committed to that trick or pulled it off in the amount of attempts I gave myself.
Oh, so that was a violet door, not cobalt.
A violet door.
Transport to Aegon.
No, it was Cobalt. Yeah, we could have done that like literally whenever.
Yeah, I mean, once you got back from Pod W with the cobalt, just make a U-turn and go right for it.
Yeah, I got baited by. Oh wow, yeah, no. Oh, I'm just stupid. Yeah, no. Because the plan was when I got Cobalt, I remember saying, "Oh, I'm probably supposed to take that elevator to like the vanilla transport Aegon." And then when I
Right.
saw that the task one was Temple Transport or was Great Temple, I was like, "Oh, we can check this out real quick." And then somehow my brain forgot that I was supposed to go to that elevator after doing Great Temple, and then I save warped.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's actually a huge blunder. That's
You,
just
you,
a straight up mistake.
you kept moving. You went into Aegon. You. What did you do? Yeah. You went through Temple Grounds early, which was surprising. Yeah, you found your Seeker launcher, which was great. But then
Yeah, late to space jump was unfortunate
yeah,
too.
command center sort of threw you for the loop over in labs.
I felt okay about that still, just because like I don't know, in my mind, you needed to play like Aegon and Temple Grounds, and either way, because the exit to Aegon takes you to Com area, like
Right.
it worked out okay for my routing. Um,
Oh
yeah,
no!
the big thing that killed me was missing screw attack and then choosing Torvis over Sank twice in a row.
Right.
Like because as soon as I got that hint, like if I had just ever done Hall of Combat Mastery, that
You were
fixes my mistake. Yeah.
you were so set on Torvis thinking it was the right way when Aegon Labs and Temple had your access.
Yeah. And
You're so
then yeah, that stupid poison bog hint drove me back to Torvis once I got light suit. Yeah,
and then
just kind of a comedy of errors there.
well, let's get away from your mistakes, focus on more on the positive side of things. You did some fantastic out of bounds work over in Sentinel's Path.
That was bruh.
Oh, you're right. Hey, you never went there. You went straight for Echo.
No, I knew. Yeah, there was so few places Echo could be. I was just like, I think
You're
it's
still,
faster to just get Echo.
yeah, you still had some positives about yourself. You still did fantastic. Yeah, yeah, I might be slow trying to remember how I wrote everything down, but you know, it's
Hello.
hello. So, how do you feel, bro? Let's go with that first.
I feel okay, but like the only reason I won that was Sentinel's Path. I feel like because okay, I mean, I feel like I've played that pretty well. The problem was I just should not have picked up Cannonball there because I think that lost a good 4 or 5 minutes total. Just the fact that I got it. So that's the main thing I'm thinking about.
No, I understand. You never did find light suit though.
No, well, I was actually planning to go check a cursed lake for the light suit, which did end up being it.
Yeah.
But I found screw attack, and I was like, you know, we might not even need light suit, and there's no reason in picking it up if we don't need it.
Yeah,
and then we didn't need it, so.
Yeah, speaking on that, how do you both feel about Mining Plaza today?
It's kind of a troll.
I would have picked it up. The hint was amazing.
That's
I don't know why
hilarious.
it hinted that there. Like, I don't think boost was actually needed for anything at all.
No, it was.
No.
Sank entrance was like the only thing, but even then, you didn't really need that route.
Oh my god, this seed plays out so much better if this stupid Torvis temple elevator went to Vault instead of Sank entrance. Like, the fact that it was so hard to get from Sank to Torvis and vice versa was so punishing for me this seed.
You apparently had to keep going through Aegon or the entirety of Temple Grounds, just going from one side to the other.
Yeah, our warp to start location was like horrible.
Oh yeah,
Mining Plaza was pretty terrible.
Yeah, bro. My go mode was screw attack, which is not great.
You know, I got that, and I was like, There is actually a chance that somebody missed that.
Well,
Yeah, I just had a mental mistake there because like when I got Cobalt, I assumed that what I was supposed to do was go to that elevator. But then when I saw that the task one went to Great Temple, I'm like, oh, I'll check this out first. And then by the time I had finished Great Temple, I had forgotten my plan and I just save warped out of the hive chambers. So
you just
there
went.
was literally no reason to do that rather than go check out the elevator. So that was just a mistake. And then chasing hints and the things that I found was just kept pointing me in the wrong direction. There was Poison Bog was Grav, so I went to
was it
I went
a movement system?
yeah, so I went to Torvus before Sank. I saw that hint. I left Torvus. I get Light Suit and Temple Grounds. I'm like, oh well, better go back to Torvus, and so I get my Grav. And then finally I go to Sank, and the first hint is where I left my Screw Attack. I'm like, oh my god, I could have had this so many different ways.
Yeah, a while ago.
I was failing the training chamber E-2, and that elevator right there went to Screw Attack. So if I'd have pulled that off, I would have had Screw Attack. Just like so many, the universe conspiring to make me avoid Screw Attack.
You almost had it the first time, but you were a little too far to the right. But you had the distance down pat.
Yeah, that E-dash is rough because you got to be way off to the side to not bonk into this stuff, and then it's hard to bend it enough back to. Or you can try to thread the needle, but that's really hard too if you want to go straight at it.
And then what did you do? You did some sort of air underwater with a slope jump on top of the spider track.
I was going for the air underwater, and then I realized the slope jump was probably easier. So it's just a slope jump. You don't need air underwater for it.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I could have just ignored because like we had that hint that Echo Visor was an ing hive, and I could have just ignored that and it would have saved me time. But I don't regret checking like Spider's Treasure and ATS before going for Sentinel's Path, because that would have like normally if you get a hint for something in ing hive, any sort of progression in ing hive, it's almost always in Spider's Treasure or ATS. So I don't feel bad about checking that.
Yeah,
But it just wasn't there because it would have saved so much time if that was Echo Visor.
Yeah, it seems like Sank usually has something major. If it's not a hint, it's an item right on the spider side.
Yeah, I like to have a late game progression like that.
Yeah, but your early routing was pretty stable for both of you. Yeah, you went through Aegon pretty cleanly. You went through Dark Loop 1, went for Jump Guardian, you came back, went through Labs. Your early game was pretty good on both sides.
Yeah, I felt like that.
Okay.
There you go.
I got a little bit baited by the translator. Like usually my approach to these seeds is as soon as I get a translator, I start thinking that it's probably time to leave my starting region. And so I left before Space Jump. Not the end of the world.
No, but it was wonderful though.
I felt like I routed the early game pretty well, but honestly, okay, I was worried early on that I pretty much immediately thought that not go. So I mean, I got that missile launcher, and I felt like it might be worth to just go straight to Labs right away. But for some reason I just didn't, and I don't know why. But actually, and I was really worried that it was gonna hurt me to not go straight for Labs because I figured Space Jump was probably gonna be in Storage B, since that's like the only thing that Missile Launcher unlocked. But I think it's actually weirdly better to do early like Dark Aegon first, because you get supers and you can just leave straight out of Dark Labs through the super missile doors,
Yeah, go
and then
right
you
through
can pick up
Warrior's
Dark
Log.
Visor. So weirdly, it works out that way when it shouldn't. But
I can only guess. It's a wild guess. Most likely, you're thinking you don't have space jump, you don't really have spider ball to get back through vent area A, and due to that lack of space jump, you can't really go through mining station A's gate backwards easily. So, did that have any effect towards your early routing, trying to figure out that gate?
Actually, so I was asking myself the question. I don't actually know the answer to this. Does Randomania logic account for deleting blast shields by opening the door reverse, or does this expect you to have the item to go backwards?
oh yeah, it accounts for that.
Okay. Yeah, I
But
couldn't decide if that missile launcher was incorrectly for getting back into bomb grading room.
no, yeah, it accounts for that. I should have gone to labs first with my thinking. Like all while I was doing the early Dark Aegon, I was thinking, man, I should have gone to labs. But and I mean, I think logically you get space jump sooner, so it makes sense for that to be the right play. But it just wasn't because of weirdly how those super missiles, Spider Ball, and Dark Visor ended up working out.
Mm-hmm.
Strange having an early game like that, but
Yeah, well, this is Echoes. Everything about it, it's just strange.
I kind of accidentally took the best route there.
Kind of accidentally.
Yeah, yeah, Torvis. I like my Torvis, but it was not the play today.
No, Torvis was not the final answer. Well, let's see. With that being said, your Sky Temple keys. I guess we'll touch on that real quick. Any of those really throw either of you out for your route wise? I mean, you had Defiled Shrine, Incash 3 alone, trying to go all the way back to Dark Labs for Sonic Boom.
Yeah, Sentinel's Path is always the one. Like, I'm willing to do that SAU, but I prefer to have the items. So, like, I was happy. Like, with the hint for Echo, I was happy to just chase on the Echo rather than have to commit to it. By the time that I had, everything. By the time I was guaranteed to get Echo by clearing Sank, or Inghive, I was fine to just. If I had found Screw Attack really early, I probably would have gone for the SAU as well.
I see. What about you, bro? Any routing concerns due to your STK knowledge?
I mean, the Incash 2 one was out of the way and annoying, but honestly, all of them, the other ones just felt like they routed in pretty well. Because right after hints, you could just go to Torvis,
Right.
and then take that lower Torvis elevator back to Temple Grounds, and then head to Sank pretty quickly through there. But Incash 2 was kind of out of the way and annoying.
Yeah, it was somewhat annoying. Medvista and ATS together when I was late to Screw Attack was pretty annoying because it meant that whichever region I chose, I was leaving a key behind probably.
You'd have to come back for it, and they're both far away checks wherever you go.
Yeah, no, like getting to Torvis and getting to Sank this seed was horrible from a city warp, and it wasn't very good from each other, given the lack of boost ball. Like if we just had boosts, you can go through Sank entrance, and then at least Torvis, Temple, and Sank entrance connect to each other. But otherwise, it was just a huge pain to get anywhere from the warp to start.
Well, I think it's safe to say that boost ball was the main catalyst for today. Boost ball and Screw Attack, the two biggest game-ending items.
Yep.
Yeah. I would have just picked up that boost ball really early on if we had gotten early Screw Attack, but it didn't want to give that to us, and at that point I was like, hey, I'd rather just get Cannonball than boost ball.
Yeah, thought y'all were going to do a Morbus early on just to try to get it, but it's not really useful for much of anything outside of Sank entrance.
No, yeah. I would, like, if there's ever anything in Mining Plaza, I would never find a Morbus for it unless there's something I need on a Morbus itself. But with the very first hint of the seed being that a Morbus was dead, I don't think I would ever find a Morbus there.
Yeah, same. If I have all the items and a Morbus is unknown, then maybe I'll just fight a Morbus and I have to deal with it. But otherwise, yeah, we're always lockpicking it if we know what a Morbus has.
Yeah, it doesn't help that SAU is just a terrible one to do.
It's tricky to learn. I think a lot of us have gotten pretty comfortable with it.
I honestly think that's like, well, that SAU specifically is one that like I kind of unlearned it for a while after learning the Sentinel's Path and Proving Path ones. Because they have like different timings, and I just forgot how to do Mining Plaza for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the most important one, but it's really easier than Sentinel's Path if you can get it all down. Especially because the wall crawl itself leading up to it is easy. You know, you can just do the Sand Digger secret world and then just go up in Ceiling Warp.
Right. I think with that, we're coming up to our time limit here. Do y'all have any final departing words you'd like to say for the short cast who stayed with us throughout the entirety?
Appreciate you doing the comms. GG's again, bruh.
Yeah, GG.
All right. And with that, we're going to start signing off from our lovely program. But don't worry, the Metroid fun isn't over yet. Before we leave, Op, thank you for tracking once again. We really appreciate you coming out on such short notice. Baha, bruh, thank you for providing such a wonderful viewing experience for us. I didn't have to race it, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
And on that note, for those of you still here, if you're interested in learning more about the Metroid Randomanias, joining our community, or following any of the runners or commentary, links will be posted below for everything. But before we go, we do have one special announcement for those here. If interested, currently going on over at SpeedGaming 1, we had the grand finale of the 2024 Mentor Tournament for Metroid Prime. Bilo versus Rincon. Now, who's going to win? Who knows? Due to the standings, if Bilo wins, he could take the grand finale, or he could force a game 2 if Rincon wins, due to how the current bracket looks. So again, if you're interested in more Metroid content, the grand finale's heading over at SpeedGaming right now. And there's the link for you. And on that note, we'll see everyone next mission. Have a great rest of the night.
See you, folks.
See ya.